Hello, word listeners. Alex here, and welcome back to another episode where we explore the fascinating world of English vocabulary. Today, we're diving deep into a word that's essential for effective communication and navigating relationships: compromise. So, what does compromise actually mean? Well, at its core, compromise as a C1 level verb means to settle a dispute or reach an agreement by each party giving up something. It's about finding a middle ground, a solution that satisfies everyone involved, even if it's not perfectly. Think of it as a dance where everyone takes a step forward and maybe a step back to create a harmonious rhythm. You'll often hear it used in the context of negotiations, disagreements, and decision-making processes. Now, let's explore some synonyms for compromise. A close synonym is concede, which means to admit that something is true or valid after first denying or resisting it. For example, after much debate, the company had to concede to the union's demands. Another useful synonym is negotiate, which implies a process of discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. You might say the two countries are trying to negotiate a peace treaty. We also have accommodate, which suggests making adjustments to suit someone else's needs or preferences. An example would be, the hotel was able to accommodate our late check-in request. Then there's concur, which means to agree, but often after some deliberation. For example, the board members concurred on the final decision after several hours of discussion. We can also use the word mediate, which suggests intervening between people in a dispute in order to bring about an agreement or reconciliation. For instance, a neutral third party was brought in to mediate the dispute between the neighbors. Now, let's flip the coin and look at antonyms for compromise. First up is refuse, which means to indicate or show that one is not willing to do something. For example, he refused to negotiate, demanding his terms be met exactly. Another antonym is oppose, meaning to disagree with something and try to prevent it from succeeding. You might hear someone say, they will oppose any attempt to change the current regulations. We also have reject, which means to dismiss or refuse to accept. For instance, the committee rejected the proposal because it was deemed too expensive. Another antonym is resist, meaning to withstand the action or effect of something. For example, they resisted any attempt to change their traditional practices. And finally, disagree, meaning to have or express a different opinion. For example, the two sides disagreed on the interpretation of the contract. So, how can you use compromise in everyday life? Well, imagine you're planning a movie night with friends. One person wants to watch a comedy, another wants action, and a third prefers a documentary. A compromise might be to watch a comedy with some action elements, or to rotate movie genres each week. Or perhaps you're deciding where to go for dinner. One person craves Italian, while another prefers Mexican. You might compromise by trying a fusion restaurant or alternating cuisines each week. In a work setting, compromise is equally important. Perhaps two colleagues have different ideas about how to approach a project. They might compromise by incorporating elements from both approaches to create a stronger, more comprehensive solution. Common expressions involving compromise include meet halfway, which essentially means to compromise, strike a balance, which refers to finding a compromise that satisfies different needs, and give and take, emphasizing the mutual concessions involved in a compromise. Here are some more usage examples. They reached a compromise after lengthy negotiations. The government is unwilling to compromise on its key policies. She had to compromise her principles in order to get the job done. A successful relationship requires both partners to compromise. The company was accused of compromising safety standards in order to cut costs. Remember, compromise isn't about losing. It's about finding a solution that works for everyone involved. It's about understanding different perspectives and being willing to make concessions to achieve a common goal. It's a vital skill for building strong relationships, resolving conflicts, and achieving success in various aspects of life. So, to recap, compromise means settling a dispute by giving up something. Synonyms include concede, negotiate, accommodate, concur, and mediate. Antonyms include refuse, oppose, reject, resist, and disagree. It is used every day in negotiations, discussions, and decision-making processes. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word. I hope you found this exploration of the word compromise helpful. Now, I have a small request. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show, and I really appreciate it. Also, I'd love to see you put this word into action. Create your own sentence using the word compromise and share it as a comment below the video. I'm looking forward to reading your examples. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring the wonderful world of words.